Hi, my name is Chris. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, a subscribe would be absolutely amazing. And every day I'm doing a vlog for at least the next 1,000 days. 1,000 days, I hear myself saying that and I think, wow. But it's achievable. It's tough, but it is achievable and I can do it. And guys, I've said this before, but I am looking to get a new camera with a new microphone. And if you're able to help me out with a little thanks down here, I'd really appreciate that. I've also got something called Buy Me a Coffee as well. So anything that you can do to help me on my journey to get that would be absolutely fantastic. And a big thank you to Christine, who has already very generously given a donation. So thank you so much. I'll be putting that towards the camera when I get it. So moving on though, I just want to talk today about the art of being you and what it means to be you, you know? So what do I mean by that? So have you ever been around people and they've never really wanted you to be, you know, you felt like you've had to be or appear differently because the expectation you felt was that they needed you to be somebody other than the person that you were? Sounds a bit convoluted, I know, but I just really struggle sometimes in large groups of people where you just feel like, you know, they expect you to be a certain way and you're not really playing into the narrative of who you really are as a person. And like, for example, have you ever been out at a Christmas party or at a bash somewhere and you've just gone out somewhere for some fresh air and you really could have probably just left it because you feel like it's an act sometimes, that it's just not really you and you're not being true to yourself. But I think psychologically, you know, maybe Freud would argue and say, you know, this is the whole world's a stage maybe, and each of us are giving a performance to some degree, and maybe there's some truth in that. But I think being you, just, you know, like the real you is on your own. When you're on your own, you are just you. There's no one else to play up to or put a mask on with. It is ultimately just you. So when you're in that group setting, sometimes it can feel a little bit forced. It can feel like you are in a performance, and that can have an impact, you know. So, and I can understand why some people get anxious, especially around large groups of people, or they don't necessarily enjoy that, because being alone with yourself sometimes, you know, isn't a bad thing. And there is no expectation really, is there? You've just got to be you. And I think if you can say to yourself, just be you around everybody else, maybe, just maybe, you know, that's the best way. Maybe there's a skill in doing that. Even at my age, I try to be as authentic and as real as possible. I always pride myself on thinking that anybody could ask me anything, I will give it an honest answer. I think being authentic and being honest with yourself and how you present to the world is probably one of the most important things that you can do. I think people come to respect and admire and get to know the real person then. And that can be special because in that you can form relationships and sometimes long-lasting ones, because people understand, know and expect the real person that's showing up, the authentic person. But I did see a Instagram post the other day, and it was very sad because this lady felt the need to leave this party. She seemed very emotional, and she said, I just don't want to be there. I just don't want to be at this party. I really feel alone. And I kind of understand that. I really do. You know, a lot depends on your experience, I think, in life and how you feel about you and showing up authentically. And sometimes doing that in a group setting can really provide a challenge, you know. So the nearest experience I would say I've had of that, sadly, my former job was as a police officer for well over 20 odd years. And in that time I experienced an awful lot. But on one particular occasion, I experienced this chap who ended his life, and I finished a night shift at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that night I had tickets to go to a concert. Now I still went to that concert, but there was thousands of people there, absolutely thousands of people. I even went with somebody that I was close to at the time, but I felt incredibly alone. It was the most surreal experience I would probably say that I've had in terms of showing up and being my authentic self. I guess I was still internalizing the events of what I'd witnessed probably about 12 or 13 hours earlier. But maybe I shouldn't have gone to that concert. Maybe I should have just left it. But I needed some kind of normality. Sometimes you just have to go where people are. Sometimes you have to do it, because the experience of something dictates it. And I know this all sounds a little bit sort of higgledy-piggledy, but life, doesn't come with a rule book. But I still showed up. I still attended. And I listened to the music, and it was great, but I did feel very alone in front of all those people. So when I saw that post on Instagram, and I saw that lady, and she was talking, and she seemed quite emotional about it. So I kind of understood that. But is that something that you've ever felt? Do you think? Do you think you've gone somewhere and felt, I just can't be around people. I need to have some me time maybe. And having me time is not a bad thing. It really isn't, as long as you don't do it all the time. Respecting yourself enough to be able to understand you enough to say, I need not to be around people. That's not a bad thing. And in doing that, I think you recharge your batteries. You give yourself the permission to say, I'm feeling like this, but I know tomorrow, after some rest or whatever, I'll feel a lot better. But showing up for yourself, being authentic for yourself, putting that mask on, it can have a real impact on your life sometimes, and it can be tiring. So enjoy the time on your own. It's not time wasted, I promise you. It really is charging the batteries back up, filling that tank back up so that you can feel more equipped and able to go out and do that. And if you have to say no to people because you don't want to go out and be surrounded by hundreds or thousands of people, that's fine too. I think that's fine. Anyway, just a few thoughts from myself today, because every day I'm doing a vlog, and this is part of my 1000-day vlog series. So if you're not subscribed, to subscribe will be absolutely awesome. And I'll be back again tomorrow. So thank you so much in advance, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye now.